So, I am on live hello to YouTube as well as TikTok. I stream on both at the same time. So, if you're not here with me on TikTok, you're here with me on YouTube Live or vice versa. Or maybe you're just seeing the replay of this because this will then be in my YouTube Lives for my Hope is Speaking page. Either way, I've stepped into a different color phase. Somewhat. I always love red. Like, I always have elements of red. You will always see red. And it's so regal and powerful. And, well, the color, okay. You're kind of seeing it because I do love my red, as you see. I think, like, I run out to the sun immediately. But my mom, who's like always shopping, she was going through her closet and was like, hey, take these. You want these? I'm like, sure. So I've somewhat stepped into this azul, this blue, after being a fiery red dress wearer for my entire existence. Well, not my entire existence. It just gives it's like a power color. Thank you for liking the live. It is my power color, but every color looks good on me. There's that thing. There's that too. Every color looks good on me. However, when I consciously thought about what I was going to wear on stage when I gave my TED Talk, I was really thinking about that. I was thinking about color theory, and there are emotions that certain colors give off, and feelings, and it's a way of, I like to call it, you can call it subtle persuasion, but yeah, just a subtle persuasion. Thank you, Sonia Campbell 82 for the follow. Thank you. But when I did this TED Talk, because, all right, I'm very fashionable. From my 15 years of being a flight attendant, working fashion adjacent. Thank you, Mr. Pri07 for the follow. Modeling, styling, doing all of these things, I've really collected every element I need to make style. And this is why I say Americans dress terribly. They do. They look terrible. I have an American passport, so, but I don't dress like you. And let me just tell you, Americans dress horribly. And you know it. And as a flight attendant, we would joke about that because there's ways of unknowingly showing a part of you. And I take dressing intentionally. I am from heaven, of course. That's where, well, we're a bit of heaven and hell. You got to have that good with the bad. You got to have both elements. But I was told I'm from heaven. That's what I was told. So when I was preparing to do my TED Talk, I was consciously thinking about the color I would wear, because it was important since I am a speaker. That was a notable accomplishment in my speaking career. Thank you. I'll tell my mom. Thank you. Because she's always shopping. My mom's very fashionable, but not all my mom did was shop, but she shopped a lot. I shopped a lot. And I remember, like, even in high school, what you think an angel looks like is not what it looks like. So stop. You don't even know. Because if you knew, you would understand. and you would respect when you see one. She is very proud of me. She is very proud of me. Thank you. Okay, so let me show you the fashions. Since I've stepped into this azul phase, I've really been enjoying just like blue. So it's simple. I love a simple jersey dress. I love the cut. It's just a very simple dress, and it's something where I can I don't wear sweats. I don't. I dress every day. I'm intentional every day. I don't care if anyone sees me or not. I'm showing up for me. And I also do not care to be that comfortable. I was just thinking about that. When you're in sweats kicking back, like you're really comfortable. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, Possibly, yeah. But there's a difference between bodycon and too tight. And this Americans, hello, you don't know the difference. Tight is not good. It looks terrible. You look terrible. It does not flatter the body in any way. Now, fitted for your body type, which most of you refuse to accept your body type. That's already a problem. And here's the other thing, and this is with confidence. You dress for what you want to be seen as, not for what you're trying to cover. And a lot of women just find things to cover my stomach, to cover this area, to cover that area, where if we are open to that other space of, I want to show my wonderful arms, or I want to show my smile, dressing for the things that you like and that you want to show may create a better feeling than dressing for what you're trying to cover. Because there's a difference. And Beauty 87, thank you for the follow. And even accepting that, like, wait a minute. So many, this is like with marketing. Marketing is meant to highlight your negatives, but what about each have something unique and powerful and magical inside of us? And when I speak about the dressing to cover, I feel a lot of individuals covering their greatness. Covering actually the things that make them shine, because maybe someone said, oh, stop doing that. Hey, you're a show off. Hey, don't do that. We don't do that here. And you just cover it. And maybe that thing that you're covering is actually the beauty that you were supposed to show the world. Maybe the world was supposed to see that quirky habit that you have. Douglas Bethea 4, thank you for sharing the live. And I speak about this because as a speaker and as someone during my 15 years as a flight attendant, I've been everywhere in the world. I know the world. I've lived the world. I've experienced the world. And all I saw was that humanity, humans. Yes, there's differences. There's differences with language. There's differences with how the skin appears. There's differences with everything except being human. Just wanting to have a family, to have your children educated, to want to just come home and eat with your family. I saw that everywhere. There was no difference in that. And maybe to understand that beauty is to see really how we are all the same and show the specialness that you are. Now, AV, I'm open to that perspective. It's not something I identify with. I don't have that perspective. So, sure. And often, here's the other thing. People, when you say the world is lost, you haven't been anywhere. Like you haven't. This is me on my soapbox as like someone who's over 60 countries daily for like almost 2 decades. You don't know what's going on. All you're seeing is whatever's on the TV. As soon as you left and went somewhere, you would I would challenge to stay in a space of compassion just to observe. I'm not labeling anything. Maybe it's my perspective that needs to be awakened or softened or able to just exist for me to take away that judgment and just observe. And just observe. Being at a space of observance without a label. I'm not here to label something good or bad or negative or it should be done that way. It should be. That's a waste for me. In my most compassionate self. For me, what that looks like is truly observing. Just observing another human element or perspective without having to label it, without having to compare, just allowing it to be one of many. Does that make sense? That's great. I thank you. I don't know. See, here's the thing with religion. I don't know why that matters to me. I think when you say I follow Jesus Christ, the expectancy is the person that I'm saying this to will relate Jesus Christ with an image of maybe something good or a set of ideals or something. No one knows. I'm just observing you as a human now. When you say I follow Jesus Christ, that doesn't mean anything to me because I'm just observing you. Your belief system is not often how you show up in the world. So I don't know if that's said to, okay. Okay. So the beauty in each of us. So I love tea. Tea is like a warm hug. I always have a cup of tea. Okay, sure. That's a perspective. Well, cool spirit. Why? Immediately, I follow me. I follow me. Like, I trust me. I don't look outside of me for something to define or lead or guide me. I'm comfortable and I trust myself and I love myself and I respect myself to the point where I am led by me. I trust me, whether that's trusting an intuition or trusting a guidance system or trusting because I have learned how to just simply be compassionate with myself and problem solve. I don't seek anything outside of me to be the outline of how to live life. I trust me. And I'm drinking this yogi tea, which I love because there's always, thank you. I appreciate that. I love luck. I'm really lucky. I am really lucky. I'm the luckiest person in the world. I am. Great things always happen to me. And speaking of great things, so this yogi tea, which is bright peach bergamot, which I love bergamot. Give me all the bergamot in the world. I love bergamot tea. I love the smell of bergamot. Does everyone know in the chat? Do you know what a bergamot is? Because it smells lovely. I love fragrances with bergamot, and I love tea with bergamot. And it is actually a beautiful citrus, like a bright, in between an orange size and a tangerine, a bergamot. And you see them often in Italy. And thank you, Bella Cantrell. Yeah, I'm showing up as the beautiful goddess that I am. I had to. I have to. I love it. And the sun is out. I'm not. I dress like this every day. I don't. This isn't a. The special occasion is that I woke up. So saying I will save something until a special event, every moment is a special event. I am here. I'm experiencing life. Now, I've also had some life-changing events. So my TED Talk was done on the moment that shifted my perspective in life. And my TED Talk was about, in May 2019, I had a flight leaving from SeaTac, Seattle Tacoma Airport, arriving in Washington, D.C., 6-hour flight. And I was working as the head flight attendant on this flight. And the day went as planned, except, this was kind of weird. There was a Furbies convention at our layover hotel. So we lay over at this hotel, and as we arrived the night before, I kept thinking, why are all these like grown-up teddy bears around? And what furries are people, adults that dress up as like cuddly characters. And they meet at these conventions during the year. They're almost like Trekkies. Is anyone a Trekkie? Because I had a flight attendant friend who was a Trekkie, and you guys are hardcore. And I love it. I love the dedication. She would travel all over the world. Who's baby? Queen J. Who's baby? And how rich? I don't want rich. I need wealthy. Rich, I'm already rich. Like, how wealthy? How wealthy are we talking about? Because that's not anything. And furthermore, you being rich doesn't take away from you if you're a cornball. Because I've had that. If you're a cornball, if you're corny, you're corny. Your money, I'm really cool. I'm the most amazing being you'll ever meet. I don't care how much money you have. If you're a cornball, I'm not going to stay around you because you have money. I have more resources, and I just believe in myself. So money isn't really the driving factor in my life. I will not stick around you just to be around your perceived wealth. If I don't like you and you're a cornball, you're a cornball. And a lot of y'all are corny. And a lot of women need to stop allowing these cats to be corny as heck. They are corny. I don't care what you have. If you're corny, you're corny. You have to start being like cool and dressing well and healing yourself and opening your communication. So when you feel something, you don't disappear or ghost. You're able to feel your feelings and allow them to pass. It's time for a lot of people, and this is all genders, to truly do the work on yourself. Like, that's the sexiest thing. But if you're 48 and you've done no work on yourself, you are offended all the time, you are angry, it's everyone's fault, it's never your fault, relationships never last, people run away from you, and you still don't think you're the problem, you are the problem. And it is the sexiest investment to consciously say, is it me? Is there trauma that man, I've been so angry. Why am I so angry? Who hurt me? Who have I hurt in the years since I've refused to address this? Like, it's time for me to act. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm anxious all the time. I cannot handle my emotions. I cannot get close to someone. That is okay to say that and say, I want to take steps to, like, be better. That is like currency beyond. And that takes something. That takes actually checking in with yourself. But if you've checked out from yourself for so long, if you've just... The bigger question is, what would it feel like to feel good? What will it feel like to just feel good? I don't know about that. All I know, listen, I don't listen to anything outside of me. So I never see a barrier. If I want to change myself, I don't stop the changing of myself for systems. I just create what I need. I just create what I need. If I need something, I gotta figure it out. Period. I say this in my TED Talk. It's you. It's you. We have everything we need in every moment to be okay, to solve something, to get through life. And even knowing that takes a lot of pressure off. Like, wow, I trust myself. I trust myself that I will make the best decisions. But if you're constantly second guessing yourself and saying, I don't trust myself, I don't make good decisions, I have to ask someone else to support the decision I made, and it spills out into your life, what I'm sharing is, ask yourself, what would it feel like to not second guess yourself? What would that feel like to be like sure of your choices, of your decisions? And be okay with that. And know, listen, I got it. This is what I'm asking. Even asking that question of, I don't even know what that feels like. What would that feel like? That's something I want to feel. And really fulfilling that. Because sometimes I have wanted to do it for someone else. Not all the time. I'm very much in my own personal thoughts about myself. And here's the other thing. My dad would say, no one cares about you. No one's thinking about you. Except for me and your mother. We love you. That's toxic. But the reality is, when we are thinking, are we making a good decision? Will this person think this is a good decision? People aren't thinking about you. They're thinking about them. Everyone's thinking about themselves. I'm not saying that's a negative thing. You must think of yourself for self-preservation. It's okay. It's acceptable. And understanding that means I don't need to worry what others think of me. Because really, their thought of you is through their perception. From the moment they were born till that moment, every system, every gender code, all these random things, seeing you. It means nothing about you. Stop getting offended. And question, why am I always offended? The beauty is, there becomes a point where, like, whatever someone says, it doesn't matter. Because it doesn't. What do you think about you? It starts with you. If you don't like you and someone says something, you may just say, well, this is why. No one likes me. No one's ever liked me. That's why this person treats me this way. It goes back to you. And some of you are the scoundrels. Like some of you guys are ragamuffins. Ragamuffins. And I know because I can speak of this because I've encountered ragamuffins. Like I've, but they're always funny. Like I've had people move out on me, but I was always in a better financial equation. So it wasn't, I don't need to chase you down. I have my life will go on. Kira Shine, thank you for the follow. Yeah, ragamuffins, like because I've had roommates, and my roommate when I lived in London was like the worst. He was like so terrible. Fine, absolutely gorgeous. And this is the other thing. You have to learn how to control yourself because he is absolutely gorgeous, but there's no way I would start a sexual relationship with a roommate. Anyone who's doing that, stop it. It's ridiculous. Don't do that. That's terrible because you can't handle it and it's not like good for you. Now, I have great self-control. First of all, regarding sex, I don't like someone just being in my presence takes something. In my body, come on now. And that's for your safety and mine, because afterwards your life will just, it will just soar. And then you won't be able to leave me alone. And I would love that, Infinite 904. I remember someone said that. I was like, "Ooh, I like this guy," because he said he would pick the girl up and say, "Hey, let's go skydiving." And I was like, he would do that? Oh, okay. I like that. Yeah. I would love to do that. I've gone skydiving and I loved it. I went skydiving on the Big Island. The first skydive, it was like 6 a.m. because I wanted to do it as the sun was coming up on my birthday, jumping into that news cycle, like really like, yeah, let's go. Let's jump into this news cycle. Cause that's my New Year's, let's jump into this news cycle. And so I went to the Big Island for like 2 weeks on my own. This is when I lived in Maui. And I took Mokulele Airways. They're so cute. They're the little island hoppers. But I was tested. Like, I was tested because I already am an expert packer. However, Mokulele Airways, you can't bring like a carry-on more than maybe 20 pounds. So I did a backpack, which I can do a cute stuff, like not a ugly. I have very fashionable things. I love modern, like sustainable, intentional, well-made things. And I had this cool backpack. I don't drink. My sister's a sommelier. So if you do drink, I know everything about wine. And I know that from my own personal studies. My father loved wine. He taught us about wine. He always paired his meals with different wines. So I've known about that. Growing up in the Central Valley of California, we also have a lot of vineyards. And so I know people who make wine or have grapes. And then me living in London and Paris and traveling as a flight attendant internationally, we're constantly updated on wines, and I was constantly pouring different vintages. So I'm extensively knowledgeable in wine, and my sister is a sommelier. You can look her up. Her name is Faith. My name is Hope, really. I'm in between Faith and Charity. My youngest sister is Charity. Then I have older sister Faith. I'm Hope. And Let's Talk Wine, NYC. You can Google it. She's been in business over 10 years. She is a incredibly successful woman entrepreneur who has started a thriving business with wine education, where she instructs with wine and pairs the wine and has a staff that will bring in the cheeses and the fruits and the foods that will complement that vintage. And she's incredible. So Leah Faith Williams, Let's Talk Wine NYC. She lives in New York City. She loves New York. She can love it, she can have it, and she knows that she can have it from me, because that place is crazy and terrible. However, and I've lived there. So wine, yes. I no longer drink. I no longer consume alcohol. The thing is, I also reached mastery. Okay. Long Island. Yeah, we would go to the beaches in Long Island, and I don't like them. I thoroughly was like, this is like gross. These are gross. But I do like the beaches, and I accept it for what it is. I don't compare it, because it can't be compared to my birthdays spent in Senegal for several years. I mean, come on. You can't compare the two. So you never compare. You just accept it for what it is and find the beauty in it. They are gross, and they're rocky and cold and pebbly. But I've been spoiled, because let me say, and you know I love to tan. After this, because I didn't tan earlier, I strip off everything. I'm big with tanning naked, because you don't want tan lines. Although tan lines are sexy, it's nice to sun your body. However, I always love a beach. So my life is just exploring the world through the beautiful beaches. Yeah, but private beaches, that only exists in certain places. Most parts of the world don't have that. So listen, if you're on the beach when I'm on the beach, baby, you're in the best world ever. Like, if I'm on the beach, you'll be like, wow, I'm so happy I saw her today. Osborne Carter Jr., thank you for the follow, because I do. I look beautiful on the beach. I will lay out here and just sun and get all golden. I've been coating myself in castor oil. Yeah, I've been to Long Beach, because it's the easiest to get to on the A train. You just go all the way till it stops, and then you get to Long Beach. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. So here's the story. This is what I do. I story tell, because I've been everywhere. So if you say like a city, I probably can create a story. And I'm thinking of this. When I was based at JFK, when I lived in London, not when I lived in London, when I lived in New York, I was based at JFK. And you got to stay hydrated, because I could tell from the flight attendants that weren't hydrated, they would come out and look all dry and thirsty and sucked up. Like, you got to stay hydrated. I don't know what I have to say this again, because when did people stop drinking water? You have OF. I don't understand what that means. I don't understand that. Drink water. Stop reaching for juice. If you're a sexy adult, juice, like, if you're a toddler, I understand. You're not. Drink water. If you want juice, eat the fruit, or actually go squeeze the fruit. But stop reaching for these juices. It's like, for women, all of that sugar is not good for parts of our reproductive system. And water is just nourishing. What have you been eating that you have to have this sugary, terrible tasting stuff? Okay, so the beaches. No, it's not. Death is deadly. Death is deadly. When you die, that's deadly. That's deadly. People, this is just like, I've had a few near-death experiences, and it's like, no, man. I don't, okay, let me get back to my story because I've gotten all off track. So, we're talking about the beaches in Long Island. And I was speaking of when I was based in New York. I was living in New York, based out of JFK. So I flew out of both JFK and LaGuardia. What's up, the God particle? And I had a girlfriend that we were based together in London Heathrow, because before New York, I lived in Europe for 7 years. And we were both based out of London Heathrow. And we will call her Cheryl Horowitz. And she was like, oh geez, they're all my favorite. I don't have, that's limiting. Don't limit me with one. I'll just think of my favorites and start saying them, but there is no one. Thank you, Amal 12. I have it. Like, I went to Target last night and I was like, yo, you know what? I love a red lip. I love a red lip. I'm going to wear a red lip. Yes. And so I got this last night, and that's why I made that piece of content about a red lip. It's like, yes, a red lip, and I love it. It's my power color. That's why I have red nails. And I started this live because, yes, we do, the God particle. That's why I can only be in the sun. Listen, I can only be in the sun. You whippersnappers that like tolerate the cold, absolutely ridiculous. You're a chump. Better your life. Just move. Thank you, Amal 12. Just move. Like, when I made that, and I can say that because I've lived in these cold places, and y'all don't believe what you're saying. Y'all will say, I hate this. This is so cold. I hate this place. And continue to live there, and continue to live there, and continue. I remember the time in New York, I was like, this is ridiculous. I will not feel this way again. I will not spend a winter here again. But I didn't really spend winters in New York. I also usually would go away. When I was based in New York or Jersey or even DC, I would leave all winter. So I would typically, during the month of November, when I was a flight attendant, I would take off the last 2 weeks because I would be on some beautiful foreign beach with some beautiful foreign man, oiled up, cheeks out, booty out, like beautiful, celebrating my birthday, eating some fried plantain, like enjoying life. Exactly, with some fresh juice. Well, most people are, and that goes without saying. What do you mean? What's the point of being somewhere you're miserable at? Ask your friends. Most people stay where they're miserable, and I'm not speaking of just where you live. This is of your job. This is of your friendships. This is of your relationships. Most people have normalized I don't even like that word, normalize. Let me take this a step back. If you had the option to feel amazing as the norm, like I actually feel confident. I actually don't feel like I need to doubt myself. How would that feel? What would that look like? What would that take to feel that? Would it take journaling? Would it take maybe having a therapist? What would that take? Do you even know what that would feel like? And so what I do know is the cold, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I was born in the sun. The sun loves me. I look the best in the sun. My body thrives. I thrive in the sun. And so when I was based in New York, I would leave half of November. I would come back. I would fly the first 2 weeks in December. And then I would leave the East Coast of the US for the last 2 weeks of December because I would come to California where my parents are. I promise my mom every year I will come home for Christmas. Because my mom, like, she loves to decorate for Christmas, for every holiday. My mom's always decorating and cooking and changing the house furnishings and candles and figures and porcelain things. Like, she changes all of these things. She's invested. I love that I have a beautifully curated, warm home. It's beautiful. Because a lot of y'all don't know how. Like, I walk in your house and it looks like you just looked at the picture in IKEA and bought it. So there is a difference between how you can soften a home. So I said, Mom, I know how invested you are. You know I'm a flight attendant, but I will guarantee you I'll come home for Christmas. I won't come home for my birthday because my birthday sometimes falls on Thanksgiving. And I'll probably be on some foreign beach with some foreign beautiful man all oiled up showing what you gave me. But I will ensure I will be here for Christmas. She was like, okay. So I would always come home for Christmas. So I would leave the East Coast, work the first 2 weeks of December, come to California for the last 2 weeks. Then sometimes I would go somewhere for New Year's. Sometimes, but New Year's is kind of for chumps. New Year's sometimes is like that holiday. New Year's, if you're in the right place, New Year's is fine. You don't have to go somewhere to celebrate it. But again, I'm a flight attendant. I was. I've been in different places every single birthday, there's been maybe 2 or 3 repeating out of 15 years, but that was normal. So I would typically come to California and then go hide out in like some beach town in Mexico, not Cancun, like away from Americans, away from anything familiar to make an American tourist comfortable. I would get on the Colectivo at the Walmart and go maybe 90 minutes south to a small fishing beach town and just chill for like a month. And then maybe I would meet some friends in the Caribbean, or I would go to like Argentina for February because it's summer there. And then I would usually push it. I would take off January, February, most of March, and then come back to flying like the last 2 weeks. So I never really experienced winters. I would always leave. Same thing in London or Europe. You aren't sticking around for winter. Winter in London is miserable. Most of the time in London, it's miserable. And I love London. I do. We have a beautiful relationship. And I just did not know that there's places that existed that you will not see. Like, you see how I'm seeing the sun? Like, forget about this. Take a picture. Never gonna see it. Forget about it. Last time you go see the sun, baby girl, is the last time you was at your mama's house over there with your mom and them, your mommy, your daddy. Because when you get back to London, you ain't seeing no sun. Goodbye. It was terrible. It was terrible. Like, it will be gray and misty and gray and cold, and it's like a humid, bitter cold. Like, not a dry cold, not a New York cold. Like, this is the thing. When you travel and live different places, you really see there's a difference. Like, London is like that chill to your bones type of cold. It's a very muggy, wet cold. It's like horrible. It's different from a New York cold. Add into it, it's always gray, and people are not receiving sun, and they look like it, and they are unhappy. And that's where my mom would always drink tea, And I always loved tea, but I grew that habit of always having a warm drink because a cup of tea for me is like a warm hug. A cup of tea is like a warm hug. It is. Oh my gosh, I get so excited. And I remember at my dad's send off, we had a dinner afterwards, and I had some tea, and then people were coming like, Hope, I want to talk to you. I want to take a picture with you. Hope, Hope, Hope. And I came, I was talking because I'll talk. I love to talk. I love to talk to people like I am her. I will talk. Yes, I love a chai. So I went out, I was talking, and then I went back into the reception center, and they were already breaking down the dining area. Like they had rolled up, they'd taken off the tablecloths, they had cleared the tables, they were rolling these tables that could seat about 12 to 16 people around them. They were rolling them to the back. And I was like, oh my gosh, I left my YSL card holder and my cup of tea. So one of the brothers that was, I was just a kid. Like here, Amal, 12, I'm calling you in, not calling you out. As a kid, I didn't label myself any of those things. And as an adult, I don't either. I have just shown up as me. No one is a pure extrovert or a pure introvert. You can and are extroverted around those you feel safe with, and you go more insular when you aren't feeling as safe. That's it. I don't label any of this stuff. It's ridiculous. So a warm cup, a hot cup of tea is like a warm hug. And I would always have my tea. Plus, I lived with people who had lived in Britain or Europe. So it's just like our water cooler or coffee moment. You get to know people over tea. And my flatmates, we would always have tea because it's cold. It's cold. I've experienced a lot of these climates, but that's ridiculous. And I've lived in the best cities in the world. Punk that. I've lived in Paris. I lived in New York. I've lived in London. I lived in DC. They are great. They are, just not full time. I got to a point where I like waking up in the sun every day. And after my emergency landing, which is what I gave my TED Talk on, that's when I actually started asking myself, if this thing called life, you could go any day. And I learned that from being on a plane that the left engine went out, and I really accepted the fact that the next 45 minutes could be the complete remainder of my human experience. Imagine that. Imagine being on a broken ass plane and you're like, imagine that. This is why when people say something, none of this matters. You put too much energy into things that actually don't matter. I know what matters. Outside of that, it doesn't. I just don't put energy into it. I don't. What you think of me, I don't care. But I also don't label myself. I'm not woke. I'm not this. I'm hope. I'm hope. I refuse to carry any labels that are just given. Just allow me to exist. That is ridiculous. I just choose to show up as my most authentic self. And I share this because I've been doing this my entire life. Most people don't. And it does take something. But anytime I attach a label, there may be a thought of that label that doesn't align with me. And ultimately, take me as me. My actions. My actions. My opinions is just how I see the world. But my actions is genuinely how I'm putting in to the world. Does that make sense? You can call me amazing. Okay, a warm hug, tea. I would always have tea. I have my kettle. I would typically drink. I love PG Tips. I love my Tentleys. I will do. I prefer Tentleys. No, I like my PG Tips, my British tea. And when I was based in London, I had the experience of working outside the US. Now, the US, we have a very high work productivity. Americans work a lot. We are efficient, we get to work, we do work. Some of y'all don't. And I know that because my dad was an exceptional leader. He taught exceptional business and leadership skills, and he was a real entrepreneur with integrity. A lot of people aren't. I accept that too. It's a part of it. I still believe that how you live your life just shows up for you in your own way. It's not for me to label it. However, I've worked with family, and some of y'all whippersnappers are like the worst people to work with ever. And I have 4 sisters, so I'm like, I do not want, no way, no way. Like, we can work together if we're not like seen. No, they're not the worst, because the thing is, they're your family, so you're able to actually have a more constructive communication pattern, because you can't just cut off family. And in fact, it can be a space where you learn how to communicate more effectively. Instead of saying, I don't like you, you're not doing this well, you actually have to be in business mode. It's not about feelings, it's about an outcome. This is what I need from you. I'm taking my feeling out of it. How can we work together to accomplish this? That is how you accomplish goals or business or anything. It's not about feelings. In fact, I don't care what you feel. What I'm accepting is there is a solution that can be found in us joining together. Let's join and make the solution happen. That's it. I don't need to do much more than that. But learning how to say that to someone and be compassionate, and especially in business, most of you guys don't, you take too much inventory of what your coworkers think about you. It doesn't matter. They're your coworkers. They're only there because you work somewhere. Outside of that, they don't mean anything. If you weren't at that place of business, they would not be in your life. That's it. That's the only commonality. And my dad would say, like, you sometimes people fall off just because you lose that common ground. Sometimes you meet people in school and your commonality was just that you happen to meet at school. Once you go into your profession or you stop going to school, that commonality may or may not remain a bond. Same thing with a job, or even sometimes I just really see the beauty in seeing cycles end with people in your life. Like, not cycles end, friendships end. That's okay. That's okay. And some of them need to. Some of them need to. Sometimes that need of, like, I have to keep this person in my life because they have been in my life so long, that may not be a benefit. Okay, that's not your, here's the thing. You don't know what will disrespect them. Here's the reality. It won't. The goal is to understand that there is a common goal. It's not about you're putting to first, you got to be able to talk to your parents. And I made a piece of content about this. this is coming from someone like, I have great parents. I do. My father died in December. Up until that moment, they were in a very successful, happy 45-year marriage. My mom is a complete princess and stubborn, got everything she wanted. However, my dad really taught me just the beauty of what a man is in every way. And so shift the focus. Shift the focus of, you are not able to speak to these people because of this hierarchy. At this point, there is a goal that needs to be done. It's not about disrespect. You don't know that. You're judging that. Let go of that. What is the goal? What is the goal? If the goal is, we need to speak about everything that's being paid on the 15th, that is the focus, not how they will feel. The focus is, we need to speak about all the bills being paid on the 15th. Do you have time now? When is a good time for us to sit down, set an hour, and talk about it? That's it. Once you say it, it's out, it's heard. But you already stopping it just because of what you believe, you don't get out of your belief. That's not getting you to where, it's not getting you to the solution. And I'm not saying goal, solution. There's just something that needs to be solved. So of course I'm outside. I'm always outside. And I'm actually, the pool, the water reflection is like blaring into my eyes, but that's a good thing, you know? That's a good thing. As it should be. You look, listen, a naked body looks so much better in the sun. I can tell you that. A nice oiled up naked body will always look better walking in the sun, on a beach, or by a pool, or in a beautiful meadow than like in the snow. First of all, if it's in the snow, you're not even gonna see that beautiful body. It won't glisten the way that the sun makes your body glisten. Yeah. Thank you. I was saying how I've stepped into that regal, like, presidential mode. And I thought about this when I did my TED Talk. I typically would have worn a red dress, but red has, it is passion, it is courage, it is like forward movement. It's almost not forceful, but it's like a vibrant color. And I'll show everything. Shut up. Do not tell me what to show. You do not ever, let me tell you this, never come into my lives and ever claim ownership over me. Ever. Ever. Don't ever. That is not progressive. That is not healthy. That is not ever something that I would accept from someone who would be in my life. And you wouldn't even be able to be that person. You would be so intimidated. You have no idea. So there's also that. I even see a relationship in the sense of ownership is not a healthy outlook. So this is the lip bar. It's the lip bar in Boy Trouble. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I have to say that passionately because I'm really a gem that you would only see on here. Otherwise, you would not meet me. I'm usually on some foreign beach. And I share this because the person that's usually accompanying me is someone of... it's just someone great. Okay? If I can tell them no, because I'm being really honest. Most people are bought really inexpensively. Really inexpensively. I can't be bought. And I share that because I remember my father saying, Know your price. Know when the price is too high. And leave. But even in saying that, how many of you actually know your worth? How many of you actually know your price? Because many of you would underprice yourself. Why? Why would you underprice yourself? Why? Why, what other center would I be outside of myself? I don't see that as anything. Again, that is okay and has nothing beneficial for me. Yes, I'm centered in myself. Yes, you are absolutely correct. I'm extremely centered on you. Knowing yourself is the most powerful knowledge you can have. Why is it seen as an insult to share with me, who is absolutely amazing, phenomenal, and it's really your tantrum? Because I don't know why, as a man, you guys can't understand that we're beings. I am beautiful. I'm all these things. However, speak to me like a human. The fact that I'm beautiful does not mean that you must have me romantically. Stop that. Stop that. Allow me to just exist and maybe just be an observer of that without feeling the need to share something that is somewhat hurtful. Who hurt you? It's not about wanting me. Even that, why would you share that? Sure, I'm open to whatever you feel. Sure, I don't, this is what I'm talking about, like actually doing the work to heal. I'm talking to a phone. You're physically like enraged and typing on a phone with things that are not beneficial in any way to a stranger. In that respect, that is just showing a disconnect within yourself. Because any person who truly loved and respected themselves would never be in a space to insult. Because just observing human beings, I never know what someone's going through. You never know what someone's going through. You never know what someone just came out of. People are in abusive homes. They're not able to stand up for themselves. They're suffering traumas. And as a human being, I accept that. And I accept the beauty of a human. And what I also accept is, I know what I've gone through. And for me to truly be in a space of compassion for another human is to observe a human without judgment. Hi, theater girl. It's great when you look good in the sun. I have to say this again. Even if you are having a character building day. I don't say a bad day. There are no bad days. You'd rather cry in the sun. Go to the top of my page. There's a link. That link will take you to my link tree, where the first button, you can go watch my TED Talk. You don't even have to search it. You just go to my TED Talk. You can search the TED Talk, and you can go to YouTube and put Hope TED Emergency Landing, or go to my link in bio. My TED Talk is there, and it's a different type of power. It's like Obama would wear blue ties often. It is a direct, powerful color, but it's like emotional. It's being empathetic. It is a different space of power. Sometimes power isn't this brute force. I believe power at times is only seen in this very masculine, like, grr, grr, type of way. And power is so many things. Even taking the label of what power is, it's so many things. And it felt good. Like, the dress was similar to this. And someone asked me, is that Issey Miyake? I was like, ooh, I have a good group of friends, if that's who you're guessing. Okay, because I love Issey Miyake. And remember when everyone would wear that perfume, Issey Miyake? When I worked in Macy's, that was like the thing. This was like 2004, 2005, Issey Miyake. I guess it smelled good, but it was like the go-to thing. And I do like Issey Miyake as a designer. I like Issey Miyake. I like a lot of independent designers. I've been a muse for a few. However, I have designer friends who have made stuff for me, or in conjunction with me, or made stuff with me in mind. So it's not really about the name. It's about like the cool factor and the passion. Because passion shows in everything you do. While I'm speaking to you, I'm like, this is my passion. I feel amazing. Other than the sun just shining on me, let me change this angle just a little. There we go. Let me like change it up. But I love this. I love speaking and storytelling and inspiring, and some of y'all will get checked. I don't know why you think you are as cool as you think you are, but you're not. You're like an imbecile. I remember I called my French boyfriend. I said, petit imbécile. Tu es petit imbécile. And he's like, oh, no. Hop. No, je n'ai pas imbécile. He was like upset. He was nuts. I like that. I like a bit of. I do. I'm a good crazy, as I say. Like, no one's ever been like, oh, Hope, she's crazy. They're like, yeah, Hope's crazy. Yeah, that type of crazy. So I would call him a petit imbécile because he was. And that's a very hurtful insult, to call someone like a small, stupid person in French. And yeah, like, I don't have terrible stories with men. I don't. I had a great system, and I choose well. I'm grateful for the father that I had, who really taught me everything about you mofos, okay? However, yeah, I'm sharp. But the thing is, I know that, like, it's real. And when it's real, it just works. I'm never fighting for love. You can. I'm not. I don't, If love ain't easy, goodbye. Goodbye. And I will leave you in a heartbeat like, wait a minute. No. Here's the assumption. if it were to stay this way, how would I feel? Because it's not going to get better. It hardly ever does. So that thought of it's going to get better, will improve, it won't, goodbye. Plus, I travel around the world, baby. You ain't that special. I find you every time I land. That's the reality. I make you special, okay? I bring out the best in you. Without me, your stock has gone up. And here's the thing. I've actually done this. A lot of women haven't, but I have done that to guys, okay? I've done that where after me, they look like a completely different person, as you should. I know that. That's why I can't align with everybody. I know you are just going to thrive with me in your life. I can't just be next to everyone. For real. I know the beauty of a partnership. That's what happens in a partnership. We will both thrive. However, I'm really making you thrive. These amazing women are what is making you thrive. Or the thought of getting a woman, so making money for the woman, whatever. We are that. I am her. And I've witnessed it. Y'all didn't have fitted suits. Now, since Hope put you back in the world, better than I found you, you already have a really high bar, because I don't know what's after me, but the manner of trust is better. Probably communication is a bit better. This is what is great about a constructive relationship. It doesn't always have to be, this was terrible, I shouldn't have done. What the heck are you guys getting into? Why are you getting into something that is so dramatically bad? That's kind of on you. Like, you have to do more research. Stop just like accepting someone into your life as a relationship. Like, what do you want? How do you know it's that? What is your parameter to walk away? Because you got to be able to walk. And I've walked. I've walked from people. Listen, the people I've walked from have like sold their penthouses in another country to chase me to another country. Y'all ain't getting that. Y'all got the dude that complained about getting Popeyes back coming to see you. Okay? So and I share that because it's not about what they have. I don't care about what you have. I have it. I will only attract that anyway. It's you. And sometimes it's just something we both got to learn. But if I trust myself and I know myself and I know this ain't working, that feeling in my stomach, that's not going away. The best thing we can do consciously in a healthy way is say, I need to step away. There is something that is not aligning, or this is not comfortable for me, and I am like detaching from you. I will not call you. That is great. That is healthy. And actually saying, yeah, this isn't working. Stop just accepting that it will work in the future. It won't. My life is my life motto. My life. My life is amazing. So I don't have a life motto. I just do this stuff. And I encourage you to do it, because what's the worst? Are you going to explode? You're going to tell someone how you feel and then your head is just going to pop? No, it's not. You're only forecasting this imagined terrible outcome that won't even happen. Stop it. Get to a point where you say, I'm going to actually see what that feels like. Grow. And not grow up, grow into yourself. Maybe go away and stop putting yourself out for a relationship, because I don't know how y'all are doing it, especially in the States. I haven't dated an American in like probably 20 years, so I don't know. And I date I date completely different. I don't know what y'all doing, because I ain't never had any of these problems. And I don't really care to break up. Like, I'm not, goodbye. I break up with you. I move countries. See, here's the thing. There's that. I'll leave you behind quickly. I had shared that right before I moved to London, I was in DC and I had put my name on the transfer list for, I don't care That's great that you feel this is low. That is your perspective. It's not a truth. It's your truth in the world full of truths. So ultimately, this is only how you see it from how you see yourself. So I'm okay with that. So I put myself on the transfer list right when I was hired as a flight attendant. I was based at that time in Washington, D.C. So I flew out of National Reagan, I flew out of IAD, Dulles, and I flew out of Baltimore. And DC was great. I love DC, especially as a young, beautiful woman. It's a great place to mingle, to date, to have friends. It's so transient. DC just is rich of, it has a great feeling, and it's a great city. It's one of the great cities in the US. All of them are great for something. DC has its own special thing. And I knew it wasn't it. I knew DC was cool. It was my first city moving out from California, but it wasn't it. It wasn't it. So I put my name on the transfer list at my airline. Let me adjust this so like that is not shining right on me. How can I do this? Can I'm gonna figure this out. Figure this out, Hope. Figure this out. Or not. You can always just quit too. You can always just quit. So I put my name on the transfer list, and the first place I opted to go was Hong Kong. The second was Narita, which is Tokyo, and the third was London. I didn't care. Whichever one, I was going. I was 22 at the time. I'm out of here. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Ugh. So I got my transfer to London, and I have moved quite a bit, but in aviation, it's somewhat normal. There was a time where I split my life for years between New York and London. I had 2 places. I had 2 mail boxes. I had 2 phone, like I've lived I've technically been bi-coastal. I've done that. And so moving immediately is never a problem, because I would get the notification, hey, you were awarded. I did. I'm going to change it to Hope. So see, Los Focus, just expect it to be Hope. So I was awarded the trade to go to London, to be based out of London Heathrow. And they usually only gave you like 14 to 16 days to relocate to the new base. It was never a month or 2 or 3. No, it was 2 weeks. So I got the transfer to London. I was so excited, and I had a boyfriend that I was living with at that time. I was like, well, relationship done. Like, it wasn't even a second thought. I am 22 years old. I am not going to relocate to London and tell you that we are going to continue to have a relationship, which we could have, because I was a flight attendant. I would technically be there as much as he would see me before, because I would be there 3 to 4 days out of the week. So it wasn't, when people in aviation, or who travel often, but specifically in like flight crews, I don't see anything with distance, because I could easily arrange my schedule, or take a month off, or pick up trips to that specific place. It was never that I wouldn't be able to see the person, because you always can. Sometimes more than enough. But it's also good that you're traveling a lot, because I've heard that most relationships will be sustained because you're not seeing each other all the time. I don't want to see you all the time. Like, I like traveling. I like getting away and missing your ass. Go away. And I like you, but I like me, and I like to be like with me. And I've let people know that, and I've always been with people who are respective of that, and they're like that in their own way. So it's great. This having to be up on you, no, go. I need to tan. Go away. Give me a glass of sparkling water, bring me my book, and disappear for like 48 hours. Please. Please. So I was like, relationship done. And so he came home, and I was like, yo, I got my transfer. He's like, to Linda. I was like, yep. He's like, oh, okay. I didn't tell him then. Now I would have just broken up with him then. This is what I learned. I didn't drag it out. I was in a space of, really, it's a space of not worthiness, but thinking, I don't want to disappoint him. When I tell him the relationship is done, he will be sad. So what? That's okay. The beauty is knowing that you are being honest. And I do not have responsibility of someone's feelings. I will always be kind and compassionate and honest. Honest, because that's the most compassionate thing you can do. And yes, it may be uncomfortable, but people get over it. I don't know if they get over me, though. Me, it's a bit different. I know people haven't. No, it's not like, wait a minute, Y2K, what do you mean let go? You miss this. No one's grabbing me. You cannot keep me. Listen, if I choose to leave, I'm going to leave. There is no such thing as don't go. You think people haven't said that? I don't care. I'm gone. A fool to let you go? I have always let them go. And so what? I don't know how you get over me. Listen, I don't know. I don't think they have. I don't think they have. But no, because they say they haven't. And I understand. It's me. Most of y'all aren't. So unless you are with, exactly. That's why people, it's not about wanting. Let's get out of here's the thing. He should have self-respect. No, he's a human. He feels whatever he feels, and we still consciously go through with the break. I don't get to control what someone feels. All I know is how to compassionately express what I feel. I'm not in that space. And it's not about not wanting someone. It's never about that. And that goes into worthiness. It's not about wanting you, having you validate me. It's actually only about my honest belief in myself. I trust myself. I know when I no longer want to be in this relationship, or this isn't healthy. This is beyond my boundaries. My boundaries are violated. And that is okay for me to feel and express at any time. And that is a healthy, honest way of looking at relationships. I don't look at a relationship as this is it for the rest of my life. I work at being as open and honest every day. That's it. Because I will probably leave you. It's probably like a fear of mine. Guys aren't just that great. You're okay. And I've had amazing men. Here's the thing. Here's the other thing, ladies. It's looking real good over here, okay? Real good. You will never hear me say anything about men. I love men. I've had incredible men. I never have a lack of intelligent, emotionally available, open-minded, compassionate, thriving, healthy, open, secure, abundantly wealthy, communicative, handsome man. I've never had a shortage of those. This is just my journey. I am God's gift to men, Carl. What do you mean, don't look back? I will do whatever I want. Stop saying these ridiculous people. People often, Carl, that don't take that, like reverse that. You see, you even took the sun away. And now, because I got to end the whole live. I got to end the whole live. You took the sun away. Like, this is what men sometimes do. You stop telling me these things that you feel are beneficial to me. They're not. I'm beneficial to you. The secret is women are your benefit. We're smarter than you. We have a deeper sense of emotional intelligence, which is the only thing that really masculines, especially in the U.S., because the U.S. is an insane place, lack empathy. However, I'm open to love and open to being that source. So send me a gift me. I'm in this space of receiving and asking. And I look great. I love this dress. I think this is like the go-to. I think you'll be seeing a lot of this color. I mean, you will see, thank you, Michael Lattimore. You will see red. You'll always see red. And health and wellness and happiness. And a really proud, satisfied human being who has to go cook for her mom. I'm also a private chef for my mom. And I said, Mom, what do you want to eat tonight? She was like, I don't know, a turkey leg. I'm like, a turkey leg, that's it? Like, you have the most random, and my dad is like this fine dining. We would dine at Michelin-starred restaurants and restaurants all over the nation when we would travel. My mom is very country, which I love. Thank you. And so when she said, I don't know, a turkey leg or a turkey wing, I was like, okay. I love it too, Crystal. There, I'm giving it to you. I'm giving you this feminine energy. I'm fully in it. I'm receiving, I am believing, I'm sitting back and just letting it come. That's what we do. Actively pursuing in a comfortable way, but I do not chase, I attract. Everything comes to me. Yeah, and even that label, my mom is just my mom. She's amazing. She's fantastic. She is why I show up in such a beautiful way. My mother has always been a beautiful element of feminine wisdom. She always prepared herself beautifully and with a beautiful lipstick. And I have always loved her beauty, her natural beauty. And I have beautiful hair in any length. However, I never saw my mom wear wigs or extensions. And I love how women, we can change our appearance at any time. Understand, show the beauty of your appearance. And since I think this may be a factor why I didn't see that, I've always seen a beauty in my hair, just my natural hair. Blowing it out, curling it, dyeing it, because my mom always had beautiful hair. And I made a post where I changed my hair. I change my hair all the time, although I love my short hair. This dog needs to be walked. Why? I need a real man. What compared to what? A fake one? Carl, is that coming from a space of love? If it's coming from a space of benefit and love, clarify. So, yes, my mom always wore jewelry and she loved her Estee Lauder perfumes and she would just shop. She still just shops. Like, I buy whatever I want. I do. But I don't actively like to go out and just browse. If anything, I'll go to a vintage store of any level, like $2 or $20,000. I like what I like. I have a very eclectic taste. And it's typically not found at, it can be, pieces can be found at like Marshalls or TJ Maxx, but I don't go to Marshalls or TJ Maxx for clothes. I go for the food section, and they have, let me tell you, especially when I'm in the US, Home Goods. They have the same type of foreign foods that I would buy in the grocery stores when I was a flight attendant. They have the same olive oils and pastas from Italy. Like, they have the real stuff from the grocery stores. They have the same type of stroop waffles from Holland that I would get in Amsterdam. They have Stollen, which is this Christmas bread from Germany, the same type that's in Germany. That's why I go to those places. They do have the same food from the grocery stores abroad. And, but I do like what I like. My mom says I was the most expensive child. Sure. I don't think about it. I like what I like. Once you stop limiting yourself off of a price of something, life becomes beautiful again. Because attaching everything, every decision is attached to money. Start to break that. I have spoken for quite a while. I was also streaming on YouTube. So subscribe to my YouTube, Hope is Speaking. My lives are there. All of my TikTok lives. Sometimes I record YouTube videos while I'm on live. That's what I typically do. That's what I've been doing. And I just posted that 2 days ago, and I'm posting the other one. It's a quick motivational speech. It's entitled, Watch This When You Doubt Yourself. And it's me telling you, don't doubt yourself. You got it. But in my own beautiful way. So subscribe to my YouTube. Follow me here on TikTok. I am on the marathon to 10,000. And I think anyone who wants to start or feels apprehensive about posting or being on social media, start. The world needs, it's not even the word, let me bring it inward. The fact that you start and just honor yourself regardless of how it's received is your gift to the world. It is. Sandy's Crochet, thank you for the follow. So start. And it's a powerful thing even seeing that 10,000, getting closer to 10,000 followers, because I was there. I was like afraid. I didn't want people to see me doing this gift that I chose to pursue. And this has brought me my TED Talk, which, as I said, go to the top of my bio, click the link. The first box is my TED Talk, my email if you want to collaborate. It's all there. My Amazon store, my Cash App, my Venmo. Thank you, Sunny Girl. Love you. And send a gift. I don't respond to words. Really, send a gift. Words are, let's see something like movement. So, you can see my TED Talk, and this is what I do. And I love it. I come on every day. I always look this beautiful. Wednesday, I have a new thing. So I will be going bike riding. I'm starting, on Wednesdays, I meet my friend who was my Valentine. I had a Valentine, and we bike. So we're biking like 12 miles. So you'll just be there on the live. I won't be talking, maybe I will, but I'm going to attach the phone to the bike because that's how you, listen, the booty looks good. If I get up and show you, you're going to pass out. I love to be outside and work out because, boy, listen, when it all comes off, that's where you're losing. You want to look hot naked. That's why you work out. Thank you, Crystal. To be the hottest girl, listen, I know this. You gotta listen. This is a secret. To know you are the hottest girl that he's been with, come on. Don't you want to work out and be like, I know these beautiful, look at this body, look, and he gets to see this? You're welcome. Come on. And I chose you. You didn't choose me. So you better, you only got, no, I can't. But it's true. Become the hottest one. Become the hottest one. Having that feeling of knowing when I'm disrobed, I'm the hottest girl this man has ever seen in his life. And I know it. And I know it. And I know that he still thinks about it. But you're not going to be that if you're like not doing the work. Trust me. There's a difference. So get started. It's getting warm. It's getting warm. I ain't even gonna play with you. There's people who've been serious. I never stop moving. And someone said, Hope, tell us how it feels when you stop working out for 2 years. I said, 2 years? Are you insane? Why would I stop working out for 2 years? But I just incorporate it into my life. So there was a time where it was the gym and I had a hot personal trainer, which definitely do that. Get a hot personal trainer. He had the cutest butt and chiseled arms, and he was in love with me, and he just lead them on. And he was great. He was great to look at. He would train me, and he also did like a kickboxing class. This is when I lived in London. Day 49, that is ridiculous. Why would I call you? You're ridiculous. You aren't it. Understand and this is a space of learning. You aren't it because if you were, that thought would not have materialized into that message. It's not. You aren't it. And I'm not going to ever call you. Why would you tell a woman to call you? Nigga, I don't even want to talk to you now. What are you talking about? Bye. I ain't calling you. I ain't calling you. However, that's okay because there's plenty that call me. And I just reciprocate. So I was saying, yeah, be the hottest. And some of y'all need to understand you ain't that hot and you wouldn't be around me. I wouldn't be around you. I have had amazing partners just because I really respect them. And we had like communication. And when I still look at these partners, I see how they're growing in life. And I believe that's a beautiful element of like self-reflection. If you chose well and you chose to speak your honest truth to that person, and I have a great, yeah. I'm really proud of any of the gentlemen that stood by my side. I don't say exes, that's not sexy. I say the gentlemen that formerly stood by my side. But they wouldn't ever say that. They'd be like, oh, this is how I get hope. They would know that that's not like, that's ridiculous. If that works, you see how something just broke? That was confirmation, my friend. And that's okay if you're not it. Most 99.9% of you aren't. You wouldn't ever be. But the beauty is you can hope. And I can be the outline of what you aspire to be with. And that's why I live. And I speak about this, and this is all, what is beneficial, take. Hi, Mom. What is not beneficial, leave. That's it. That's just like life. That's what I say. And now I'm Blue Hope because is your plant coming back to life?
Well, it wants to say sayonara, but I'm not going to let it. I'm going to let it. I'm not.
She's saving a plant. My mom had to save her plant, and she's a treasure. She's a treasure. So, yeah, this is what I do. I come on here every day. I talk, I motivate. I take you to my events where I'm motivating and panels where I'm speaking because I talk. That's why it's Hope is Speaking. And I will Miracle Grow. Okay. She has some things I will advise her. I will advise her of that. Thank you. If you miss my lives, because I just come on whenever I want, I post them all to my YouTube, which is Hope is Speaking. So subscribe. I am just on my marathon to 1,000 subscribers at YouTube, and it's beautiful, and it's a journey, and I love it. So subscribe to my Hope is Speaking YouTube, because why not? And let's be positive hopefuls. That's why I believe you resonate with something. You're resonating with something I'm saying, and well, bring him back to life. That could be a sign for something within your life. I can just do whatever. I can do whatever I want. You can't, but I can. I can do whatever I want. Don't tell me what to do. If I say that to my parents, why the heck would I allow someone to say that to me? The one key is once you can tell your parents no, you can do anything. I didn't even listen to my parents. That's why I'm successful. I mean, I listened to them, but I could tell them no. No, I can, and I do. There's that. Get out of here. Like, some of you guys are like clowns. So, I'm completely in my power. I have my red lip. No trigger, honey. I'm completely in my power with my red lip. That you can be a doctor and be a clown. What does your get this? Okay, this is what I'm always saying. Doesn't matter what you do. It's about your personality. I don't care what you do. You can be a doctor and be a clown. You know how many clowns I know of all professions? It's not about your profession. And women, here's the other thing. Not stop. Be open to allowing clowns to show up in every form. In fact, he was a surgeon. I'm sorry, you're just a doctor. He was a surgeon, and he was a clown. But people can be in any profession and be a clown. They can be in, I don't take away from your profession and you being a clown. If you're a clown, if you're corny, if you just are like, a clown, you're a clown regardless of what you do. It's regardless of what you have. It's you. Clowns can have all of the best and still be a clown. You can be that's why a lot of people are excessively wealthy, because they're clowns. And most people are so insecure that they will allow themselves to stay around a clown just for the perceived value that it gives them. If the clown is what's perceived as wealthy, a person may want to be in proximity to that to feel that wealth. Now, your proximity to someone isn't their wealth. Their wealth is their wealth. If you are next to someone who is wealthy, I do not assume you are wealthy like the person you're standing next to. However, people will just want to be around wealth to make themselves feel better, even though the person is a clown. You know about how many artists and like well-known people or people who have a financial abundance are just clowns? Stop that. If you're a clown, you're a clown. And a lot of y'all think you aren't. Your accolades don't take away from your clownness. Now, this isn't everyone. This isn't a blanket statement, but some of y'all are clowns. For real. And you just found some people who weren't in their power, and they empowered your clownness. That's it. Once that person found their power, they will not allow a clown to have power over them. So I even see a beauty in that. You being a clown births a power in who you were a clown to. You see? It's all positive. It all works out. What's up, NYC? But if you're a clown, you're a clown. That's regardless of what you have. And There was a time where a clown offered me, to buy me a beautiful flat in Paris, because I had told him I wanted space in Paris, exactly where I wanted it. And he was a clown. And it also was a trade-off that I found I did not need to do. Do it on my own merit, but I wouldn't feel good if I took it. Yeah, I learned maybe that's the story for tomorrow, because that was quite a story. So anyway, unless you, come on, if someone's offering you a paid beautiful appartement sur la Paris, and I say no to that, I know my power. I said I can create that myself. I do not have to give a piece of myself that I know isn't worth it. That's the choice I made. However, if I'm saying no to that, you clown dudes think I'm giving you time of day. You ain't offering no apartment in Paris. Please. But if you would like, I'm open to the offer again. So that's me, Hope and Speaking. I'm a bit off the hinges. I come here and speak. I gave my TED Talk. Go to my link in bio, or go to YouTube and put in the search bar, Hope TED Talk Emergency Landing. That is the heart of what I speak of. And give. If you love, give gifts, give feedback, give a gift. Just give more of yourself in this day, and give to me. So I always close my lives with, be the reflection of love, because we all come from an infinite source of love. Show up. Show up, show up, show up, show up. I showed up today. All I did was show up and talked. All you did was show up. Thank you for the follow. But if you don't show up for you, if you don't show up for your dream, for that workout, for yourself, for therapy, for whatever you want to do, it won't happen. So show up, because that's all it takes, is you showing up. And the third statement always comes from whatever I feel in the day, and it is, get your ass out. I have never gone without working out, because if it's not a gym with a hot trainer, it was dancing at a dance thing. If it wasn't that, it was Zumba. If it wasn't that, it was swimming. If it wasn't that, it was walking or rollerblading. I just incorporate 1 hour of movement every day. And I remember a gentleman in my past said, you have 24 hours in the day. You can give your body 1 hour. It gives you all 24 hours. You can give yourself 1 hour. So every day I give myself 1 hour of movement. And lately I've been doing my sexy walks or hiking or trail running, but get to it, get to it, get to it, get to it. Because the sun's going to come out, and then you're going to be talking about, I don't want to show it. You should have been get to it. Okay, it's looking real good. I mean, it looks real good. It will look real good when you start. So start. Okay? That's it. Goodbye. Good luck. And make that body look as good as it can get. How about that? Goodbye.